Hey everyone, so I hope you're having a lovely day so far. So today's video is about my Rapt V2 from Jonas Nix at Modusworks in the US that I received a year ago today. So actually a couple of days ago it was officially finished, I guess, on the 17th, but as I received it on the 23rd, this is when I decided I'm going to do a video. So it's the super stepped inlay version in titanium, which has been blasted and stonewashed with a JG10 inlay. Now, I was probably one of the very last people to get a custom Rapt from Jonas, so I was kind of lucky, I guess, that I got in there before he stopped doing custom orders. But I have to say, actually, the plain metal, like stainless steel or titanium ones, are equally as beautiful. So when he resumes making those, I always recommend just, go in on one of the sign up sales and just try your luck. If you don't get it, you don't get it. But, if you don't try, you don't get. So, okay, so this video is just going to be about, what I think of it now after a year of use. So, over the past year, I have been playing around with a lot of the inserts. So, if you've seen my unboxing video, then you'll know that I basically bought as many inserts as I could, and I've also got some more since. So, there is a maker on the groups who makes their own 3D printed inserts. So, I've got like 4-click inserts and things to try. My friend sent them to me, which was very kind. But yes, I got a whole set of the acrylic inserts. I remember Jonas gave me a couple for free. I think all the 2-click ones, because that was the one thing I didn't buy, was 2-click inserts, because I've never really been a fan of 2-click. But he included an entire acrylic set basically for me. Then I got the hybrid and strong inserts and medium strength in the aluminium, and then the strong and hybrid in the brass, because it's not recommended that you get medium for brass if it is even available in the first place, because the magnets would be too weak compared to the considerable weight that brass adds. I got a load of I've got some spare magnets. Unfortunately, some have chipped, and I probably need to replace them. And I got a lot of spare, what are these called? Spacers, I guess. Foam and rubber, and then spare screws. Because basically, I want to keep this for the rest of my life. It's very treasured. It's a very treasured fidget, and yeah, I absolutely love it. So I wanted to get everything I possibly could, so I could try lots of different things. Because if there's one thing to take home about these, is you can kind of build them however you like. There's so much adjustability and customization with the Rapt that no other maker offers, as far as I'm aware. Obviously, makers are now introducing customization since, but I think Jonas was really like the forerunner of doing all of those things, and it makes for a highly enjoyable experience, because it's fun to try different things, and you never know what setup you're going to enjoy most. So I've tried a lot of different things. I have to admit, I don't really use the acrylic inserts that much, because with the Rapt being titanium, it ends up being quite light, so I tend to gravitate more towards the aluminium and the brass. The brass is very nice. It does dull the click a little bit when you've got full brass in there, and it makes it a bit quieter in my experience, but I just don't like the heft. it does add a lot of weight. Now, the aluminium are kind of like the sweet spot, you know, they're in between being really light, really heavy. You know, aluminium is probably the best way to go. But then sometimes I still find it a bit too snappy, a bit too loud and a bit too light. So I think I've got some weird setup in here at the moment. Let's just move these out of the way. I can't even remember what I've got this set up at, as I've changed it so many times just to try different things. So let's have a look. I'm pretty sure it's mixed. I apologise about the state of my hands, by the way. I have I'm not the most careful, I think, with myself when I'm doing a lot of my hobbies and manual work. Here we go. So just lift that up. This is my stainless steel kind of plate under here, but I just cover it with a kitchen roll just so it doesn't scratch anything. So yes, I have got a mix in here. Let's have a look at the other side, because I tend to mix between sides as well now. These are still the same screws that I've used from day one, no problems, never come loose. Right. Yep, okay. Okay, sorry if there was an awkward cut there. So what I've got in here, hybrids, a mix of brass and aluminium. Now, one thing I found with the brass inserts is, I don't know if they're just slightly thinner than the aluminium, but when I put them in with foam spacers, I still got a little bit of crunch, like very, very minimal, and I really liked that. I didn't like the heft of all the brass, but I did like the minimal crunch. It was just really satisfying, because I don't like really loud crunch. I like a little bit of crunch, but, you know, not really loud and obnoxious, you know, kind of thing. So I don't know, I may be wrong, but I kind of liked that with the brass. The aluminium, when you put it in with the foam, it really dampens it down almost completely. So the crunch sound. So what I decided to do, and what I've had in here for quite some time, is just having minimal crunch but without all the heftiness of the brass. So yes, I could have done brass on one half and then aluminium on the other half, but then I thought the weight would be uneven between both sides and I wouldn't like that. So I decided to mix up the inserts each side. So obviously I've, you know, got one of each on each side, and then, now what have I done here? It's been a while since I've done this. Right, so I have set one side up with 2 foam spacers for these. Now one of these has got a foam spacer on the brass, and then a rubber spacer on the aluminium. That's just to give it a little bit more crunch. And then these little brass ones will have a little bit of minimal crunch as well with the foam spacers. So, but dampening this one, I know it's really weird, but that is just months and months, or we'll say a year, of trying lots of different things, trying them for a little while, getting used to them, and then yeah, just going from there. Now I think somebody sort of said, why don't you put the spacers in the top parts, and then do it the other way? Well, the problem is you need the magnets down on the stainless steel so that you don't have magnets fly everywhere. So that is why I don't do that. I just line them up like this and then snap these on, because I'd much rather, you know, have to move these into place rather than have magnets just go everywhere by taking the plate side off of the magnetic plate and trying to put it on there. It would just be crazy. So that's why I do it that way, and I think you'll find that most Rapt owners and fidget owners do it that way as well, simply because of the magnets. So as I said, I've tried a lot of different things with these, and this is just my preferred setup at the moment. But the nice thing is you know, when I get bored of that, I can try something else. You know, that's the beauty of it, and no other maker, as far as I know, provides this amount of customization, and that's what really makes the Rapt so unique in my eyes, as well as of course the bent plates, which we all know and love, so you can see through there, so the corners are where they touch. Now, speaking of the plates, I have got a little bit of wear on mine, but not actually that much, and it's kind of hard to see. The corners are definitely getting worn in. Have got some wear, obviously, around the edges, but probably not compared to a lot of other users. But then, I don't know, I have a very light touch, you know. I know that sounds really, really weird, but being an artist and drawer, sculptor, everything like that, I don't put a lot of pressure on anything I hold, really. I don't know what it is, but you know, I don't press down. I don't know if other people are doing that to get that much wear, but I use this every day. Maybe it's just that I don't use it, you know, perhaps as much as, you know, people with loads and loads of wear, but I kind of like the fact that my plates are just sort of gradually wearing in and not too fast, because otherwise I'd then get a little bit worried and have to buy a spare set of plates just to keep this thing alive, I guess, as long as possible. Sorry, I'm getting too focused on fidgeting with it now because it's just such a dream. I can't do a lot of fancy stuff that other people can do. You know, some really amazing tricks and stuff that people do. I just tend to do the same things, you know, over and over again that I enjoy. But it's just so smooth. I don't think I've ever really had much problems with bits getting, you know, little bits of metal getting stuck to the plates either and getting scratches. I think I have got maybe one major scratch on these, or not major because I can't even see it now, where I did get a little bit of, like, I don't know, a little piece of metal caught in there somehow. But you know, I think people may worry with that, with the gaps between the plates. Not something I've had an issue with. You know, I keep this clean. I keep it in a case, one of my own, you know, made cases that I make and sell. You know, I tend to keep it in here most of the time, so it's not getting dirty. It's not getting damaged or anything like that. So I don't know. Just never really had a problem with scratched plates. Yeah. What was I going to say? I mean, the G10 stood up really well. I have actually dropped this maybe once or twice. Obviously not meaning to, but there's no damage actually to be seen anywhere. I do take care of my things. I've grown up in a family where here she is. You know, my parents told us that, you know, if we broke something, we wouldn't be getting a replacement. So to take care of our things, because you know, money wasn't, you know, it doesn't grow on trees and things like that. So I've always taken care of my things. I do take this out with me, but only if I know that where I'm going is going to be potentially safe. So a friend's house, family house, yeah, just, oh, this cat, sorry. Just, you know, where I know if, you know, I drop it or something, or it's not going to get stolen. You know, I don't take it to work, I don't take it, you know, out and in really busy areas and things like that. I mean, luckily for me, I live in the countryside, so not in a major city. But yeah, I tend to either wear it on a belt, so in one of my pouches. Yes, I know, darling. Right, so in one of my pouches that basically hangs on this little contraption here. I'm going to have to pause a second. Okay, my apologies. So yeah, I've got this little contraption thing that goes on a belt. It's very secure. It's made of stainless steel. I've usually got a big Larry hanging off of it and a pouch, and I just have it hanging off my belt. Or it's usually hanging on a bag. So one of my sling bags here with a Grimlock, and it just usually just attaches on there. And there's my little Modusworks patch there as well. So yeah, I do use it, but I don't abuse it. So as such, it's in pretty much perfect condition. So it's held up very well over the past year, and I expect that it will continue to hold up really well. The attention to detail and quality of the Rapt is, I guess, not to be understated, because Jonas just puts so much effort and work into this design. It shows. I'm still speechless now about how beautiful it is and just how magnificent it is. I know there's a lot of bitterness at the moment between sort of users on the groups regarding the secondary market. I don't want to get into drama and stuff like that because I'm just not interested. Yeah, I don't have the time for all of that. But I guess, you know, some people just really, really want these and will be, you know, prepared to spend anything. And I'm not going to pretend to understand economics and, you know, secondary values being a good thing. But, you know, would I spend, I guess, over $600 for this? That isn't what this cost, but, you know, if this was on secondary, or if there was another Rapt on secondary, you know, a custom made, exotic, whatever, would I spend like upwards of $600 for it? And the fact is, no. I love this to pieces, but I wouldn't spend $600 on any fidget. It doesn't matter who makes it, what it's made out of. I just wouldn't. It's just not. It's not in my budget, and I just can't. I can't fathom spending that much on a fidget. Yes, okay, this wasn't cheap, but this was kind of like the maximum I could afford, really, and I wouldn't consider this a very high-end model, not by custom-made standards, to be honest. You know, it's not Zerkatite, it's not Zerk, it's just titanium with some G10 in it. That's not to, you know, diss it or anything like that, but I love it. It's mine, it's what I wanted, and I wouldn't want any other. I could have bought another one. I was tempted to several times to get an SGS in titanium when they were still available, but I didn't, because this is just perfect for me. I love it to pieces, and I want it to be my one and only. I don't need another one, you know. If I had another one, I'd then have the I guess the crisis, you know, first world problem of choosing between which one I'm going to use for the day. I don't want that. You know, I love this one, so this means a lot to me. It arrived, I think I've mentioned in a previous video, it arrived at the best and both the worst time for me, because this time of year also brings a lot of sadness for me because of some things that happened. And at the time that I received this, and it was a great comfort for me, but at the time I was, you know, dealing with a lot of grief and, you know, back and forth to the hospital to see a family member. So anyway, I'm not going to go into that, but yeah, this means a lot to me. I could never sell it. I love it to pieces. It is the best fidget I own. Has been since the moment it landed in my hand when I pulled it out of the pouch. It has, here she is back again. It has just basically taken over the whole free floating slider category for me. So I ended up getting rid of most of my Magnus sliders apart from my Toad X, because I've got a little bit of sentimental attachment to this because it was my first decent free floating slider. But it's just not in the same league. I'm sorry, like I'm not trying to cause upset or anything. I love this, and Magnus makes some lovely work, but it's just not in the same league. And I've changed this to make it a hybrid setup with stronger magnets in the corners, based on my Rapt. So yes, the Toad X is lovely. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not in the same league. Also, I would say I prefer the size of the Rapt. Oh, look at that. It's lifting up the Rapt. I like that. Yeah, it's just not... I like the smaller size, the compact size of the Rapt more than the Toad X. The only other free floating slider that I have now is the... Oh, what is this called again? I don't know, it's crystal titanium. Just everything's gone from my head now. I'm just too obsessed with this. But yeah, this is an excellent slider, but for titanium it is extremely heavy and the magnets aren't quite as strong. I think the plates are very thick. But yeah, I know, darling, I know. Yes, you could go, aren't you? It's a lovely slider. I actually love how quiet it is, but still not in the same league. So yeah, I'm just kind of rambling at this point. I can't really say much more than I've already said. Jonas makes a fantastic product. I didn't spring for the Rapt Lite because, again, I would then have to decide what I'm going to use for the day, and to be honest, I would end up using this more. Really. It's just a superior product, but it's great that Jonas is making something that's a little bit more budget friendly, a kind of entry price point for Rapts, and also to do something new, because I think he's just been churning out Rapts for a long time, and I know as a maker myself of other things, not fidgets, but a maker of other things, I get bored quite quickly of making the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. So it's nice to try something new, to design something new, and given how creative and I guess technically minded Jonas appears to be with how well he has dialed this design in, I'm guessing that he really enjoys that process. And problem solving as well, and trying to come up with something new. So I respect him for that, and wish him every success with everything he does. God, yeah, this is just so nice to use. If he does custom orders again, then I'd say don't hesitate. If he ever does them again, obviously if the solid titanium, solid stainless steel Rapt V2s back on the market again via sign-up sales, then again I would just go for it. If you want a really good free floating slider with oodles of customization, then the Rapt is the way to go. And like I said, I've taken care of mine, but I've still used it every single day, and it's in pristine condition, because these are built to last, aren't they, darling? Yes, they are. They're built to last. Yeah, so I'll leave it there because I've probably rambled on long enough. Yeah, tell me what you think about the Rapt. Have you got one? Do you want one? If you could have a customised one, what would you have? What would be your dream Rapt? Yeah, just let me know down below. So yeah, have a lovely day and thanks for watching.